So John, Kear, the unfortunate cancellation of the Barrow game, but there were no let up in intensity in terms of your preparations, I'm sure, in training.
No, we were fortunate enough to get a really good physical Saturday morning session in, which I think stood us in good stead, and we've had a tough session today on the Tuesday. So not having a game, it lets you train without that game soreness, and you can really generate a bit of intensity and a bit of physicality, which is something that I feel that we really need.
Will it allow a little bit of freshness from some knocks and niggles after the intense sort of start to the year?
Yeah, I think so. There'll be one or two recovering and feeling better. But at this stage of the season, look, now we're in the season, and there's always going to be people strapped up. There's always going to be people getting jabbed and so on, because it's just the nature of the game. It's a tough whole game, and you've got to be tough in order to play it, and you've got to be mentally tough as well in order to play it and get through the difficulties.
Back in action, and it's the Challenge Cup return, obviously, of a competition you're very familiar with, and it's a trip down to London, a new stadium and a new London Broncos as well.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to going down there, seeing what the what the setup's like, and obviously it's a challenge. They haven't had the best of starts results-wise, but we've watched 3 of their 4 games already, and you can see a marked improvement. So at some stage they're gonna get a win. What the challenge is for us is that it can't be against us if we want to obviously progress to the next round of the Challenge Cup and also get to the 1895 Cup, because it's a dual qualification, isn't it? So it's a very, very important game for us.
You can certainly see with that Featherstone performance, they're getting better week by week. They're finding their feet with the new coach, and as you say, it's only a matter of time before they get rewards for the effort they put in.
It is, yeah. I mean, the first half of the Featherstone game, it was 12-6, and some of the defensive work on their own line especially was first class. So we know full well they're not going to roll over and have the tummy tickled. We've got to go down there, we've got to make sure that all our prep's right, that on the day all the travel arrangements and nutrition and hydration's correct, so that the players have got no excuses except the fact is they've been prepared well and they're ready to rock and roll on game day.
It'll be a really slick surface, obviously we're being shared with a football ground and a really wide pitch as well, so it presents a number of changes from what you're used to.
Well, I think it's part of playing rugby league in February. I think anybody who's watched the game and seen it on TV, you've seen the league game, which was carpet perfect. I mean, I don't know how they got the pitch in such good condition with the weather we've had. And then obviously the week prior to that at Odsal, it really was a mud bath. And you've just got to attempt to adapt and cope with the different conditions. We didn't do very well against Sheffield. We did a real good first half job against Leigh, and obviously against London, we're expecting the surface to be similar to the Leigh one.
You mentioned the 1895 Cup a bit earlier. Is that almost like a double carrot to dangle in front of the players then? It's not just Challenge Cup progression, you've got potential appearance at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as it is this year.
I mean, let's be realistic, we're not going to win the Challenge Cup. You've got to accept that. But we can have a great cup run that generates revenue and gets a feel-good factor. But there's a chance we can win the 1895 Cup. So we've got to win these early games in order to qualify for the latter stage of the 1895 Cup. This is a way of qualifying for the semi-finals for the 1895 Cup, and we've got to nail it on Sunday and make sure that we're through and into the hat for the next round.
And just finally, it's very early for squad news, but are we expecting a couple of players potentially returning? Is the injury table looking a lot healthier?
Well, we've just had a look, during the day today. There's Mark Dunn and myself and the conditioning staff, and we've had a real good look at who's available. There's going to be some disappointed people, no doubt about that, and there's going to be some people I think who probably are expecting to play but will be left out and be disappointed. But that's the factor of life when you're getting people back from injury, and you want to see what new people can bring to the group, and they'll just have to sort of accept that disappointment, bounce back, support the group as best they can in the immediacy, and make sure when they get the opportunity they take that opportunity with good performances.
An example of a competition for places, which is why you built the squad you have now. Injuries are easing up, we're going to see the full fruits of that.
I agree totally. I agree. Yes, and especially in the forward pack, there may well be 1 or 2 names who people think are shoe-ins or are left out. Well, there won't be shoe-ins. We've got to pick what we feel on form and on how they're going on in training, and that's what we will do in order to get the winning team. And we've got to do it in order to be truthful to ourselves and truthful to the people who support the club.